So, you got my money?
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to 10K Bets Live. How you boys doing today? We got Sammy Stats and Mike joining the show. No Cam, no Marlo. I think Cam's playing softball. I don't know how he's playing softball. It's like 1,000,000 degrees outside.
It's so hot today.
Oh, fuck that. And Marlo's doing Marlo stuff, we'll call it. I don't really know.
What does he do? What does he do? I know he has kids.
Yeah,
they're always running around.
Marlo's got
kids. Help out a little bit?
I'm sure he's had a full day today already. So,
yeah, I'm sure you're right. How you boys doing though? You survived the heat, Sammy? You're a little bigger.
I did barely.
I don't.
Oh hell yeah! No. The heat's not my friend whatsoever. Yeah, I actually went golfing today around noon. Just a terrible decision. Hot as hell out. We battled through. It was only 9 holes, thank God. The heat is not great. If it was my call, I'd have it like 62 and breezy all year. But it's just the reality of Minnesota summer.
Yeah, it is what it is. How'd you shoot though? Shoot them good?
Good. 42. We just played 9 holes. So
hey, that's not bad.
I think I was like 5 over, but we'll take that. I thought I was pretty good.
Yeah, and these elements? Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Sweat.
You didn't walk. You didn't.
My face.
You didn't walk, did you?
Oh, you couldn't pay me to walk, Rent.
No. That's me and my buddies. Every time we play 9. They're like, "Yeah, we'll just take push carts." I'm like, "I'll take one with seats." I don't golf to get exercise. I golf to get out, have a couple of beers.
Yeah,
a couple
exactly.
Times.
Exactly. Yeah, no, walking is not. That's just not a thing for me. I mean, if like all the guys are walking in my group, then it's like, fuck. Okay, I guess I'll just walk. But
you can't be the odd.
Otherwise, no, you can't be the one guy that like is in a cart. But it's like,
shit. How about you, Mike? Did you survive?
Yeah, surviving. I was just gonna say, like, I played in a golf tournament a couple weekends ago, and everyone's like, "Oh yeah, so like you must be really into it if you're playing." And I was like, "No, it's like a drinking tournament." Like,
yeah,
I don't know if I was playing on my own, I probably would have shot like 100. So, those are the kind of tournaments that I like to play in. We're scramble. Maybe I hit a couple good shots, cool. But yeah, don't expect me to be making any holes. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll be all hacking it up at the 10K golf tournament coming up here.
Yeah, that'll be great.
Yeah, it's never good for me. Hopefully it's not 1,000,000 degrees like today. But we can get into something a little cooler. Let's talk a little hockey, a little puck, a little ice. As we know, I am a puck guy. I know the things that count, but we got a couple experts here. How do you guys see these finals shaking out now?
Mike, you want to start it?
Yeah, I can start it off. I'm on the Vegas train. I'm going to be open and honest about it. I wrote a blog yesterday about kind of my takes on the series. You can go check it out on the 10K Bets Twitter or the 10K Bets website, 10K Takes website. But yeah, I had a couple props in there. I'm taking Vegas for the series. They are the favorites. But really the interesting bets that I found there were Jonathan Marchessault, first off, for the Conn Smythe. He's plus 650. He scored 9 goals in his last 12 games. So I love that. Love that. And then there's another one. You can bet on the number of overtime games in the series. And I said over 1.5 for that. And that was like plus 168 when I looked on FanDuel. And so, yeah, I'm like, so Vegas played in 3 overtime games in their last series. They've only played in 4 the entire playoffs, but Florida has played in exactly 2 overtime games in every one of their series. So I love that bet. Those are my 2 favorite plays. I do like Vegas, though, to win it. I know there's a lot of people out there that think that Florida's kind of a team of destiny at this point, but I like the Knights. They're just too deep, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I gotta back you there too. I do have the Florida future. I did hedge out on that just so I could make a couple $100 there. I'm worried. I mean, Vegas is a really good hockey team. They've been a really good hockey team all playoffs. They beat the Jets in 5. They beat the Oilers in 6. They beat Dallas in 6. I mean, they just they all parts of their game are really spot on, and this Hill goaltender has been keeping them, really in every game. Which there was some questions on when Bruce Swa got injured, how their goaltending would match up. But Aiden Hill's been terrific. A few bets I do like in this without, I don't really have a side here now that I hedged out. I like it to go 7 games plus 350. That's a number that is pretty juicy. I think Bobrovsky should be able to, win them a couple games even when they don't have it. And I think the same goes for Vegas. So I like it to go 7 games. There's nothing better than a game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. So I'm really pushing for that. Other than that, I'm sure I'll be getting some bets, maybe some game-to-game bets as they come. But these first couple of games, I definitely want to feel it out. I want to, kind of feel how Florida's going to attack Vegas and other way around there. So, but the one bet I am locked in for is for it to go over 6.5. So it's got to go 7 games plus 350. And then as well, I'm with you on Jonathan Marchessault for the Conn Smythe Award. Like you said, plus 650 is awesome. He's playing really good. I know a lot of people will be on the Eichel train, but honestly, I think I've been seeing Marchessault's just been contributing more, especially on the power play. So I definitely like that at that price for sure. And then I think if Florida's going to win, you got to probably sprinkle Bobrovsky on the Conn Smythe, because if they're going to win, he's probably going to need to have 1, if not 2 shutouts. Probably 2 is a little too much to ask for. Maybe though, because he's been playing so well. But those are my bets. Again, I would like to see Vegas win just in the Western Conference there, but Florida's a scary team. They pretty much knocked off everybody in the East, so you just never know. But I'm really excited. Hopefully it goes 7.
Yeah, they went through a whole gauntlet there. I mean,
yeah.
what their road to get here. But that was another thing. You talked about the goaltending. I just think that, regardless of how good the goaltending is, both these teams are good at just finding ways to score. So they've beaten both the teams have beaten really good goaltending on their road to get here. So
yeah.
And another funny thing I was thinking about the other day is that people forget Phil Kessel's on this roster, and he's a healthy scratch, and I'm just imagining him imagining him sitting up in the press box, and he's just guzzling Diet Coke and hammering hot dogs.
Yeah. I know, you almost feel a little bad that he's been in the league so long, and now he's finally in the Stanley Cup Finals, and he's probably won't play. But that's hockey. It's a business, and he's old. It's just that's the reality of his situation. So
he got 2 cups with Pittsburgh, so he's good.
That's true. He's got he's had his glory.
Yeah, he's just too old. He's too old.
Yeah.
But just hearing you guys talk, I looked up the odds real quick for the first game. Obviously, Vegas is favored. The odds for that money line for that game are pretty similar for the whole series. Vegas is minus 125 to win the whole thing, and Florida's plus 105. So I mean, either way, if Florida or if Vegas is that much of a favorite, Vegas is that much of a favorite. It makes the logical sense. You're not getting a whole lot of value taking the underdog really in this until maybe like you said, if it goes a couple games, if Vegas somehow, maybe it's a Boston Celtics Miami Heat thing where they go down 3-0, you might get great value to try to
come back,
make a way to come back. But
that was another reason I wanted to hedge, just because I was just looking at the odds, and they essentially have it as a pick 'em, and in a hockey series like that, I wasn't gonna just stick with my Florida bet. It's always nice to profit a little even before the series started automatically with the hedge. So, that was kind of what I decided there.
Yeah, that's the smart play, Sammy Stats. Way to be responsible. I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
hey, if you're gonna give me $200 free for hedging,
Exactly.
I'm gonna take it. I mean, this is a hard game to win. You know, sports betting to be profitable, it's hard. So if I can get that chance, I'm just gonna take it, especially in a series like this. And obviously, as responsible gamblers, we definitely recommend doing so if you have that opportunity.
Absolutely. And Sammy Stats, I know he's probably going to go over to Better Edge with that $200, play some bets on the NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs.
That's right.
So if you're interested, make sure to go over to Better Edge, use code 10K, get a free $20. You can follow all our picks. Hopefully win you some money. No promises, but we try our best. Puck guy, you follow me with Puck. Take you to the Golden Gates.
Another thing about Better Edge is, I believe if they're still doing that, they will match your deposit up to $100. So you throw in 100, you're going to get 100 more at Better Edge. So you got 200 in the bank. Go crazy, Better Edge.
Wow, great guys. But I'm going to go to Better Edge this weekend. Something I actually follow a little more than hockey. NBA Finals finally starting after the Celtics collapsed in that Game 7. Which I'm not really surprised. I mean, it seemed like the Heat were kind of the team of destiny to win that game a little bit. And the Game 7 was horrible. It wasn't even really close. But that's what I think we talked last week. I took the Heat last week when the Celtics were coming back. I took them to win plus 450. Those odds now are down to plus 320. So I'm glad I took that when I did. Got a lot better value last week. Just because I think they got a chance. I mean, they're playing awesome basketball. And I know they're playing right now. I don't know what the score of that game is right now. But Nuggets, like I said, they kind of had an uncontested way. I mean, they're obviously really fucking good. There's no doubt about it. And they're obviously pretty heavy favorites to win these finals. But I'm not hedging out yet. I'm not Sammy Stats and my bet quite yet. But I'm still riding with the Heat to win this series. What do you guys think?
I got the Heat money line tonight. I was like, a lot of people are scared to bet the Heat right now in Denver, but I was like, hey, they flew directly to Denver to get acclimated with the elevation. And I don't know, like if you would have been on the Heat from like round 1 against the Bucks, like you'd be rolling in cash. Right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. They were the same seed as the Wolves.
Exactly. Yeah. Think about that one for a second, man. But yeah, that's where I'm just like, you know what? Like I'm going to keep firing. I'm going to keep firing on the Heat because they just continue to just defeat the odds literally. And it's, I don't know. I wish it would have worked out a little bit better in Minnesota with Jimmy, but like, and I hated him when he went to the Sixers, but then like, I totally respect the guy and let's just let Jimmy cook, man. He's getting it done. So yeah, they're down like 8. I think they're down 8 right now in the start of the second quarter, but yeah, they don't look too gassed or anything to do with the elevation factor, which I think is what most people were scared of going into tonight.
Yeah. No, I'm with you guys. Sorry, Renzi.
Go ahead, man.
I'm in the same boat as you guys. I got the Heat to win the series. They're given plus 320 or 350. I don't know what the ended up line was. To win the series in a finals. It's so hard not to take that. You're never going to pay the juice on the minus 415 team, as in the Denver Nuggets there. I get it. I mean, they're obviously a very good basketball team. A lot of people, are saying it could be Denver's year. Obviously now it looks pretty good there, but honestly, the Heat have played everyone tough. I thought the Bucks were a great basketball team, and they, beat the Bucks in 6 games. So they've been continuing to prove Vegas, the lines, they've been proving them wrong this whole time. So I'm definitely on the Heat. Who knows? Maybe they lose in 5 and it's not close at all. But I'd way rather have that bet than sweating out if I, hammered the minus 415 and then, which I never would do because in a finals it's ridiculous. But it's basketball and you just never know. Game of runs. So I as well took the Heat. that's pretty much all I have invested in. I didn't take an NBA Finals MVP prop. I didn't do like for it to go 5 or 6 or 7 games. I'm just a Heat fan. I hope they get it done. But basketball's not really my cup of tea. So, I'm just rolling with that.
Right.
Well, in like NBA play, like especially the MVP, you'd want to say like the Nuggets win. It's probably gonna be Jokic. You want to say that, or probably like a Jamal Murray. I mean, it's probably Jimmy Butler. But then that's why it's so tough to bet, because if they have some guy, I couldn't even pick someone's name out of hat. One of the starters goes off and he scores 30 points in 3 of these games. He's gonna end up getting it. It's like that's what you almost got. If you're gonna bet those player props, especially MVP, you almost got to sprinkle them a little bit just to spread your money out. You can't really go in on all. I mean, unless you want to go all in on like a Butler or Jokic or like a Jamal Murray or something like that. But it just happens too often that you get a random guy. Like in the Super Bowl, I feel like a lot of times it's either the starting quarterback or it's like the receiver, the number 3 receiver that had 7 catches for 180 yards. Like, oh, crazy. Didn't see that coming. I mean,
right.
So it's just tough, but it's also sad. I just, like we were talking about the Wolves with the 8th seed, I just get sad. I think when the Wolves are playing, we're still shoveling fucking snow. Same thing with the Wild. It's like we're still talking about NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, and our teams. Just think we could still be talking Wolves, Wild, but here we are.
Yeah, wouldn't that be sick? So the one thing I'll say about this game, I just peeked up at the stats real quick. I've been following Renzi's prize picks, and I noticed there's one guy there's been one consistency in your last couple of prize picks, and it's Bam Adebayo. You've been taking his under.
That guy's a loser, dude.
Bro, he's already got 14 tonight. It's like halfway through the second quarter.
Yeah, some guy chirped me on Twitter on my last one. He was like, "No way, bro. No way." He's only had to average like 4 points a game, and then he ended up with like 12. And I tweeted at the guy back. I just said, "Oh," and then he deleted his tweet. So that last prize picks, it was a wild one. It was a 4-player one, and I pushed 2 of them, and I won 2. I still cashed. I still came out. I won like I don't remember. I can't remember what my odds ended up. I ended up still getting like plus 200.
I remember that because you had Marcus Smart 3-point attempts,
which was like, also
because he hit 6.
And one of them I had. Well, I think it was attempted 3s, and at the end of the first half, he just hooked one up, and that counts. And I'm like, oh,
that's bullshit.
Oh, I was so fucking mad. Fuck that shit. But yeah, well, let's actually talk about some Minnesota sports. The really only of the big 4 going, obviously, is the Minnesota Twins. They're okay. I don't. In the grand scheme of things, they're doing okay. Good thing we're in the division we are. I looked up their odds right now to win the Central are minus 245, which I was kind of surprised at. And the next under them is the Indians at plus 340. So, I mean, that's a pretty decent jump from 1 to 2. I mean, that's the odds makers obviously have a little bit of confidence that the Twins are a level above, especially the Indians and these other teams.
Right.
But I think we played the Indians this weekend, right?
We're playing them right now. Sammy, should we let it slide? Yeah, should we let that slide? He said Indians twice now.
Yeah, it's the Guardians, but it's the same. It's the same shit.
Yeah. They'll always be the Indians to me. I don't, whatever, but
right.
We're not that kind of podcast.
Yeah,
we were up 3-1 going into the 6th inning, and now it's 6-3 Guardians. So that's a disaster.
Perfect.
There's one word to describe the Twins, and it's volatile. Because literally, like we talk. I mean, we beat the drum every week on this show, talking about, hey, dude, the pitching's awesome. And then, Joe Ryan starts against the Astros, and he gets freaking blown up, and it's like something doesn't add up here. We're in Houston. Our star pitcher just gets rocked. Yeah. It's like I don't want to put the tinfoil hat on, but like I don't know, man. Something sketchy going on there.
I think that's just the Twins though, because then Louis Varland pitched lights out in the game before. He went like an inning and a third or something.
I feel bad for that guy. Because he gets roasted on Twitter for like no reason. Yeah. So I'm glad 10K is trying to turn the tides on him. They gave him his flowers, after he had that unreal start the other day. But yeah, it's like we don't know anymore. Like
Mhm.
the bats might pull through. They probably won't, but the pitching
Yeah.
should pull through. And then sometimes it just fucking
But the
doesn't. with
bullpen
our
won't.
top
Just
two guys.
doesn't. Yeah.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
always something.
Jorge,
There's always
was it Jorge
something with
Lopez?
these
Yeah.
guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I hope they can figure this shit out. I know long season. We've talked about it in the past here, but I mean, we got a 4-game series here with the Guardians. We absolutely have to like split 2-2 for sure.
Mhm. Yeah.
And if they do, I mean, they just have to. Like, these are honestly must win series. And if you're not going to win, you got to split them with 4 games. But I mean, pretty soon, I definitely haven't lost faith yet. I mean, we're still, a month or
2 months
something
in,
into the All-Star break. Like, we got plenty of baseball, but we do have to start figuring it out. We can't be going on these slumps where we're losing 10 of the next 15 games. Like, that just will not work. So, I mean, they got to figure it out. I hope they can, obviously, as a Twins fan and a Minnesota sports fan. But I don't know, man. Every single time I think that, okay, we just beat the Astros, right? So, now we're coming in hot to this Guardian series, and then we totally just lay an egg here in the 6th inning, give up 5, and are with a 3-1 lead. I mean, it's like, and we got our so-called like top pitcher who we just gave away Arias for to prevent this kind of shit. And it's just it's baseball. It's the way of the road. But man, does it suck.
Yeah, I think Arias, he's still leading baseball in average. I think.
He is. Oh, he
yeah.
is. Yeah.
And I hope Cam and I hope Josie are listening, or hope they listen to this someday, because when that trade happened on this very show, I was saying, this is fucking stupid. Why would we trade away the best hitter in baseball? They're like, we're just trading away at his prime. We're getting a good pitcher. And no doubt Pablo Lopez is a good pitcher. I mean, he better be. We just extended him to whoever gave him however much money. But it's just crazy how it'd be pretty nice to have a rise in the lineup every day these days. I mean,
I'm with them though.
You are. Cam and Josie.
I'm gonna tell you though. It's like, dude,
go to a Gopher baseball game. And
look how many.
They're the one of the 12 that go sit at US Bank Stadium.
I could never. But what I'll say is, like, our prospects are just like ridiculous. It's like, if you go to a Saints game, like, the Saints must have one of the most loaded AAA teams like in the country. Like, we don't have enough room up here for all the guys we have right now. It's like, now you have Royce Lewis back in the fold, so you knew you're gonna have Correa likely. So you have Correa, you have Royce Lewis, and then Farmer, and then you got who's the other one? There's Lee, and then there's
Kirilloff.
He's the first baseman, and Miranda. So there's so many infielders. There's so many different infield combinations you have, and it's like, Arias obviously tops them, but like, we move him and we get it. Obviously, Lopez is going through a little bit of a struggle right now. That's noted, but I mean, there's no harm. There's no harm in Arias right now. Like, he gets his freaking 3 singles a night and he gets no RBIs and he'll score 1 run, and it's like sick. Like, I don't know. Like, it's harmless in my opinion.
I definitely agree with that. We do have like a plethora of riches in the infield. It seems like we got a lot of talented baseball players, but honestly, before the season, and of course nobody knew this, so it's tough to track back on it. But if you were to tell me that Sonny Gray and that Joe Ryan would be having the seasons they've been having, I would have said, forget Jorge Lopez, and we're keeping Luis Arias. He just won a batting title. Forget that. Like, it now, of course, we didn't know that these were the seasons that these pitchers were going to be having. But obviously in hindsight, right, you'd sure love to not give away Arias, because he is such a threat, with a bat in his hand. But I mean, it's just the bummer and reality of the situation here is that we can go without Lopez, it seems like. Obviously now that we're talking about it, but just a bummer that Luis Arias is hitting like 3 whatever. And Lopez, I think now, if we lose tonight, he's gonna be like 4-5 or something, or
after he
something
started out
along
so
those
hot.
lines. Started off so
3-0.
hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and his ERA's in the 4s now.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he is a good pitcher. I think he's just kind of going through a little slump here. But also, we got Kenta too. I know Kenta went down on the injury list, but you throw him in, and Kenta was pretty solid for us back in, what was that, 2 years ago or a year ago?
Yeah.
So
almost won the
we
Cy
do have
Young.
the pitches. Yeah, I mean, he was really good. He was really good. So, I mean, just kind of a bummer to give up Arias, but hopefully that Pablo will kind of get back on the saddle here.
That's true. Yeah, I think Maeda's got to be close to being done. I mean, he's old. He's having arm troubles. You hate to see that happen late in a guy's career when he's in his 30s. He could be headed towards the end here. You might need to throw him back in the bullpen if you get him back out there, because he was doing that for the Dodgers before we brought him over as well. So I mean, I don't know. There's an option, but he might have to start, kind of changing his role to stay up in the bigs. Because it was really disappointing to watch him. It's like, shoot, like he got hurt in 2 consecutive starts, and it's like, man, the arm's just not there yet. So came back too quick.
Yeah, they're just such a tough team. Day to day, they're a really tough team to bet, because it really is they're a team that could honestly win by 14 and they could lose by 14. Pretty much end of the day, no matter who they throw on the mound and who they got at the plate. So.
Yeah. That Houston game was Garland, where it's like we put the B team out there, and it's like they did better than the freaking A team did. It's like JV beating varsity.
Yeah. I love to bet, especially this time of year when you don't have a whole ton of bet on. I'd love to bet them. Just throw a little bit on them every day. Or even against them. But even against them, it's like they might play unbelievable. I don't know.
Yeah. The other thing that's tough with that too is you just never know if it's going to be like a 3-2 ball game or if it's going to be like a 10-8 ball game. So you can't even say, oh, like twins unders or twins overs. It's like you can't get a read on any of this.
No, it's gonna be a long summer for the Twins.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come down to those division games. And I'm with you. They're gonna have to. I mean, the non-division games obviously count. I think I said last week, as long as we can take every division series, we'll probably win the division, and hopefully they can get it. But we can kind of wrap up into our final bets before the weekend here. Mine actually is the Twins. I'll be at the Twins game on Saturday. No big deal.
Nice.
And they have our boy Sonny Gray on the mound. He's got a sub-2 ERA still. He's 4-0, I think. I'm guessing his implosion's coming sometime. It's Sonny Gray.
Oh yeah.
He ain't ending the season with the sub-2 ERA. I can tell you that.
Let's not beat around the bush.
No, I'm guessing he's going to end with like something in the 3s somewhere, and he ain't going to be undefeated. So I hope that doesn't happen this Saturday. But they're going up against Cleveland's. I think it's Logan Allen, he's a good pitcher too. I think he's got like a mid-2 ERA too. I mean, he's pretty good. And like we said, the Twins are just a toss-up. I mean, I'm probably going to bet the Twins. I'm sure they'll probably be favorites, and Sonny Gray's on the mound. So I'll probably take him at -1.5 to get better odds. That's kind of just because I'm going to the game bet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Makes it a little more exciting, but that's kind of my action this weekend. I haven't looked at golf or anything really else. I'll probably bet that NHL game on Saturday. It's on Saturday, right?
Saturday night. Yep.
Yeah. I'll probably bet that on Saturday. Continue to watch the finals. But what do you guys got for the weekend?
Let's see. So I got some golf. Typically I will just pick a couple matchups just in the morning or whatever before maybe some of the afternoon guys tee off. But as far as outrights, currently Shane Lowry. I have Shane Lowry. I think he's like 3 under, maybe tied for like 4th or something. So I'm really pulling for Shane Lowry. But as well as I might live bet Rory McIlroy at hopefully a decent number. He was having a great performance today. He was 3 under. This course is pretty difficult. There's only like 30 guys under par, at par or under par. and he was 3 under going into the 18th hole today, and then he just got just one of the worst breaks I've ever seen. He ended up making triple bogey. So now I think is kind of a decent time to hit him after the first day here. I think he'll still have some good value there. So definitely look for Rory McIlroy this weekend. So Shane Lowry, I'll be taking Rory McIlroy. I have Patrick Cantlay as well. I think he maybe shot a 71 1 under today, maybe. So that's fine. He's right in the hunt. But otherwise, as far as other bets going, I took the Twins series today, of course. And they're going to drop the first one. So that kind of sucks. But hopefully at least get a split and I can push my series bet. Otherwise, yeah, that's pretty much all I have. I don't I know there's a UFC card, but I haven't really tuned into that. May have something there that I'll tweet out or something. But other than that, I mean, it's just kind of a dry period. I know when's that hockey game Saturday? Yeah. So I'll take Vegas game 1 minus 125 or whatever. It's probably actually higher, maybe like minus 150. So that's those are my bets so far. Again, I might add some more golfers, especially as the tournament starts to kind of shape up a little bit. But that's kind of what I got. Again, just a little bit of a dead period.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. When's the next majors? The U.S. Open?
The next major is, I think, the British.
The British is before.
Maybe the U.S.
Father's Day weekend is usually the U.S.
Oh, you're
Open.
right. You're right.
Oh.
It is the U.S. Open.
And then it's like early August is the British, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think the British is, if I'm not mistaken, it's like middle June. It's kind of the July. Sorry, it's like the last one they do.
Gotcha.
I'll definitely. I mean, those weekends are like.
Yeah, those are fun.
Those are like my Super Bowl, man.
So, as a casual golf fan, those are the ones where I really like to get into it. And in our chat, we'll come up with something fun to do for some golf majors because those are the ones everyone watches. So we'll come up with something fun for some bets for that. Maybe bring back that color wheel or something. We'll figure it out responsibly, of course.
We'll do something, but responsibly, of course.
Responsibly, of course. Yes. How about you, Mike? What do you got this weekend?
Yeah, I really don't want us all to be on Vegas, so I'm gonna pivot on that. I'm gonna go with the bet that I've been really hammering all playoffs long, picking my spots with the first period under. I like that in game 1. You know, two teams that haven't really been in this spot before. Vegas obviously has been once before, but a lot of differences on their roster since that trip in 2018. I think they're going to take some time, feel each other out in game 1 of that series, and I'm going to go under 1.5 for the first period. Love betting on the Twins when Sonny Gray's on the bump, so I will also be taking that. And then another interesting one, I always look at FanDuel. I know obviously gambling's not legal here in Minnesota besides using Better Edge, like not full-fledged like
Thanks
other
a lot,
states.
State of Minnesota.
Yeah, right.
Sorry. Rant over. Continue.
Yeah. So, quick drive down 35W South, and right when you hit the Iowa border, there's our friends at Diamond Joe. They have that's a FanDuel book over there, so that's usually what I look at. They did release the Gopher win total for 2023 football, and I don't know how I feel about it yet. It's listed at 7.5. I'm probably going to take the over as a homer bet, but it's a tough schedule this year. You got Michigan, you got Ohio State, Wisconsin, and Iowa as usual. And you get 2 of those at home, you get 2 of them on the road. So there's no benefit to the schedule there.
Yeah.
And then you got to go to North Carolina where you got Drake May. And, he's probably a top draft pick in next year's draft. So I don't know when I'm going to bet it, how much I'm going to bet it for yet. But I think I'm going to take the over. PJ has a nose for getting 8 wins. It doesn't look good. So there's definitely some value. I think it was like plus 135 or plus 140 to take over 7.5. So There's some value I'm looking at, not betting in the immediate, but yeah, we'll be talking about that over the summer when there's only baseball going.
Yeah, no doubt. Who's the Gopher court? Is it going to be the Anthemachalakis or whatever his name is? Or?
Hey, you can call him the Greek Rifle for short.
Okay.
That's the nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Greek Rifle. It sounds like a porn star a little bit.
But yeah,
cool.
that's our boy.
Yeah. I don't know. Another thing, me and Marlo would always shit on Cam because he huge Gopher homer, and we'd bring him down to earth. And I don't know. I'd probably take the under in that.
Renz is a Husker. Renz is a Husker, so take it with a grain of salt.
Whatever their win total is, I'll take the under. So because they're just not good, they'll never be good again. So
honestly, those 5 games you mentioned, Mike, I'm worried about every one of them. To be honest, I at 7.5. I guess that's probably what I'd put them at. But even like you said, looking at their schedule, I mean, you got to think they're going to lose against Michigan. They're going to lose against Ohio State. But then with the Iowa, Wisconsin, you got to think they split. They split that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the North Carolina one's tough just because I don't know much about them. Obviously, we don't play them typically. So that one's tough. And then as far as the other games go, you'd think those are the ones that are must wins then for your bet to cash. And you never know with those must win games or those games you should win, but end up, losing on a field goal or something. So that line's tough. I'd like it a whole lot better if it was 6.5 than 7.5. But I mean, that's just it has the feels that it's gonna come down to the last game for that one.
Right. Yeah. No, I had a max bet. I'd max bet whatever they would let me play on it. I think it was like $300 or $400 last year because it was 6.5, and I was like, "You guys are insane. I'm going to take you." I might go back and just buy another ticket on it, like just turn in $300 tickets. Just be like, I don't know, man. But that's exactly it. Like, I think that the North Carolina one's the interesting one. Usually, PJ wins 1 or 2 games he shouldn't in a year, and then loses 1 or 2 games, so it about evens out in the end.
Yeah.
Right? So
How far is the drive to Diamond Joe's?
It's from the Twin Cities. So say it's from downtown Minneapolis, it's literally an hour and a half.
Oh,
you hop on 35,
really not bad.
one road till you hit the border. So
that's not bad.
Yeah,
exactly.
no, it's not bad. It's fun, little day trip.
It's
not bad. You go down there, and especially I think me and a couple boys went down there for NFL Sunday like 2 years ago. It's a great time. I mean, you just bet a full slate of football, hang out there, have a couple beers, and they've got an awful Burger King there in the casino that's really expensive and really shitty.
I think
I remember it. I remember because they have a Subway that closes at 3 p.m. on Sunday. And it's like, what?
Wow.
Those are your 2 options. Bring a sandwich from home.
Yes.
That's a business idea for us to expand. The 10K grill down at
Ooh, I like it. Not bad, Mike.
Yeah.
I think if I'm not mistaken, there's a hotel connected to it.
There's two hotels. There's one across the street, and then there's one that's connected. So.
I don't know if
dangerous.
I don't know if I'd stay there.
Well, I think it's for one thing. Like if you go on a Saturday evening, you bet the Saturday college football games. You hammer those. Then you sleep over in the hotel. Yeah, and then you come back Sunday for the NFL games, and then you go home after.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been down there for Sunday. Like my dad loves going down there for Sunday, so I'll tag along with him down there. But yeah, it's great Sunday slate, and you just you get up at 8, 9, drive down there, and then hammer some bets, get home at halftime of the Sunday night game if you stay for the late games. That's what makes FanDuel awesome is that they have the awesome props. You can bet anytime touchdown scores and all that good stuff. Where you'd think they're responsible for the way we talk about them.
Yes,
No free advertising, right?
No, we just get excited because
that's all it is.
We're just excited. But well, cool. If you guys don't have anything else, we good? No other last minute bets that came to mind? Nothing.
I wish there
No
was
other,
Taco
no
Bell.
other. I can't even remember what city that's technically in the Diamond Truck
Yeah.
Casino.
Fuck,
It's
what is it? Worth?
Yeah, I
Is
don't
it
know
Worth?
either.
No, it's
I
called
don't know
Worth
either. I would say
Christian.
if anyone has any good food suggestions, we're all down there. Drop in the comments on
Yeah.
YouTube here. We need them.
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Well, awesome.
Awesome.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Sammy Stats. Thank you, Mike, for coming in today.
Mhm.
Everyone have a great weekend. Let's go win some bets, and we will see you all on Monday. Monday.